Hello friends, welcome back to our channel. In today's video, I will discuss about the topic demand forecasting and its importance. This is the final topic in the chapter of demand analysis. So what is demand forecasting? It is simply predicting the future demand for the product or a service. Now, what is the importance? It helps basically in planning and scheduling the production. Then it also helps in planning for the purchase of raw materials. Then also it helps in acquisition of finance and advertisement. And then it helps in avoiding the under or overproduction, because once you have predicted or forecasted the demand, then of course you can plan your production accordingly, and hence you can schedule the production process, which is a large process. It involves a great deal of processes and activities. It will also help in acquiring the finance in a proper manner, and of course inventory management, or you can say the purchase of raw material, is also somewhere aided with the help of the demand forecasting. Now moving on to the techniques of demand forecasting, we have this flowchart here which gives us the snapshot of the various techniques of demand forecasting. In that, we have mainly two methods of forecasting. One is called the survey method and the other one is called the statistical method. I will here give you the snapshot of what are the various methods that comes under survey method, and in the subsequent slide I will discuss about the statistical method. So in survey method, we have further two divisions. One is consumer survey method and the other one is opinion poll method. I will discuss each one of these. Within consumer survey method, we have various techniques. One is complete enumeration, then we have sample survey method, and then we have end use method. In case of opinion poll methods, which is further divided into the expert opinion and market studies and experiments. In expert opinion, it could be a simple method or it could be a Delphi method. So these are the various branches of the techniques of the demand forecasting. So first let me explain all the various methods that comes within the survey method. In survey method, we find the major category were consumer survey method and second one was opinion poll method. So within consumer survey method, we have three methods. One is complete enumeration method, then we have sample survey and end use method. So let us discuss each of these one by one. But the very name itself suggests that in this method you ask all the potential users. First you have to identify all the potential users of your product, then you make a survey or you do a survey on them with the help of questionnaire or direct interview. You can do that, and whatever answers they are giving, it will be helpful in forecasting the future demand. Means suppose whatever idea they are giving about their future purchasing plan, with the help of that you can quantify all, or you can quantify the demand that might be there for the next month regarding that particular product. Okay, then we have the second method, which is called sample survey method. Now sampling in itself means you first have to make a sample out of the total population. So here, from the potential consumers or all the potential users, you sample few of them. Okay, so here you are not doing the complete enumeration. Instead, whatever market or area you have considered to go for survey, there you can choose. Suppose if the total population is 1000, then you can choose suppose 10%, 20% of them, and you can choose those people, and out of the sampled number of people that you have chosen, you can survey them or you can ask them the same similar questions, and the process further will be similar in that of complete enumeration method. It will be same as that of complete enumeration method. Only here the number of people you are going to survey might be reduced, but they will be sampled. Then we have the third method, which is called end use method. Well, this is a bit more tedious and lethargic method. It involves various stages. It involves basically 4 stages in which the survey will be completed. So suppose the first method or the first stage will involve chalking out the list by identifying all the users and users that might use the product. Now that product can be used directly or indirectly. So you are here looking for the consumers of the derived demand as well. Okay, so first you have to find out or make a list. That is the most important stage. That is stage 1, identifying who to survey basically. Then once you have identified your potential users or end users, then you involve certain scientific method to go and survey them, and ultimately you add up all the answers or the future planned purchasing that you have received from them, and when you sum up all of their answers, you will get the final forecast of the demand. Now next is opinion poll method. This is also a part of the survey method. Okay, but as the name suggests, here we go for the opinions of the certain people. Now from whom we will take the opinion? When we are talking about opinion, it simply means we are not going to do the survey of the end user or each and every consumer. So here we first, in the simple method, we will use the opinion of some of the experts. Now who these experts could be? It could be the sales representative, or also it could be the professional forecasters or professional market experts who are there to give their services regarding the demand forecasting. So they are also the expert, or you can use your own sales representative. Means the companies can use their own sales representatives which are already there in various markets. So their opinion would be very helpful because they are always in the close contact with the end users. Okay, so they with the help of their experience, they can give you some insight into the future demand of the products. And this method is also called a simple opinion method, and this method is also very helpful in demand forecasting. Now we have Delphi method. The Delphi method is actually an extension of this simple survey method. What happens here, when we are going to take the opinion of various experts, so sometimes the expert's opinion may vary a lot. Okay, some may say there will be very less demand in the coming month, and some may say that the demand will be there average. So what you will do, you will take their various or divergent opinion and try to make an average out of it, or try to come at an compromise estimate, and that is also very helpful. Okay, so when the expert opinion are very divergent, in that case we can use Delphi method in order to forecast the future demand. And the final method in the opinion poll method is the market study and experiment. Now what happens in this case, it could be market study, or the market study could be based on experiment. Now how do we do the experiment? In this method, what we can do, the companies can select areas, one or two, a few areas wherever they want to conduct the market study or experiment. In those areas, what they can do, they can change certain control variables. Control variables means there are certain determinants of demand. We already know that such as the price or the advertising of the demand or advertising. So these things can be changed or modified for a particular period of time, and then they take some time, like a week's time or a fortnight's time, to see how the consumers are reacting towards the change in the price, whether they are changing their demand or not changing their demand. If they are changing their demand, to what extent they are changing their demand with respect to the change in the price. So they will observe and make a data out of it, and that data will be further analyzed to come at the decision of demand forecasting. That data will help also in obtaining the elasticity of demand, and with the help of elasticity of demand we will get the coefficient of demand, and that can be used very easily to find that you can use and you can calculate the future demand and predict it. So this is a very scientific method of doing the demand forecasting. Now coming to the other important technique of demand forecasting, we have discussed these various survey methods. Now we will come to the extreme different branch of demand forecasting, that is statistical method. In the survey methods, we were simply using what we were trying to get the data or prediction of the demand from the experience or opinion or the direct question or directly from the consumers. Here in a statistical method, what we are doing, we are going to use more of statistical tools such as trend projection, barometric method or econometric method. Now let us see what is all of these methods one by one. In trend projection, what we do is we look at the past data, how the past trend has been. Okay, what was the demand during the past 6 months, or what was the demand for this particular product in the previous year during this season, for example during the April, May, June, July. So with the help of that you can make a comparison and you can forecast the future demand, keeping in mind or keeping other things constant, that if everything of the situation remains same, the demand might once again it will repeat itself. So using the past or the historical data to forecast the future demand is the method of trend projection. Okay, then secondly we have barometric method. What is barometer? Barometer, we all know that it is one of the instrument that helps in calculating temperature or weather, like that. So what happens in this, we are not going to use barometer basically, but what we are going to use is, we are going to use this as a symbolic method. Means we use certain economic indicators to forecast the future demand. These economic indicators work as a barometer. Okay, it somehow is going to help you in forecasting the future demand. These economic indicators could be anything. For example, we can look at the various macroeconomic variables, and we can say that okay, if the macroeconomic variables are good, if GDP is going high, so roughly we can say that it will have a positive impact on the industry. But that is very vague. We have to take more of a concrete economic indicators such as taxation, which has very direct impact on the price of the product or the on the product. Okay, such as if there is a increase in the raw material prices of particular product, or if there is increase in the taxation of that particular product, then you may understand how it is going to affect the prices, and then how it may affect the future demand for that product. If so there could be n number of economic indicators depending upon the industry that you are working in, and you can use those economic indicators, and their cause and effect relationship will help you in determining the future demand for your product. And then finally, we have the econometric method, which is there in statistical method. Econometric method involves the use of statistical tools combined with the economic theories. Okay, now the most important econometric method we have is regression. Now, what is regression? In regression, we try to find the impact of one variable on the other. Now, what is variable? Suppose there is two variables, one is sales, another is advertisement. If we are changing advertisement, if we are doing more advertisement, can it have effect on the sales? It may have. Theory suggests that. That's why people do go for the advertisement. But how much of effect it is having on that particular product, we do not know. So if we take the data of advertisement and then the various adjacent sales, because of this much of advertisement, this much sales was there, then this much of advertisement generated this much of sales volume in this particular month. So if we have all of those data, then we can put the data into the regression equation, and it will help us in finding out how much advertisement is regressing on the sales, or whether it is, and if there is no causal relationship, then also the result will show that. So econometric method is purely the mathematical, you can say statistical mathematical equations that will use the economic variables, data of economic variables, to find out the effect of one variable, independent variable on to find out the effect of independent variable on the dependent variable, and that is very much accurate. This could be one of the most accurate technique of demand forecasting, because it is totally based on the scientific method and data. So we can say that there is less bias also in such methods, but at the same time, every method has its own advantage and disadvantage. In certain cases, we cannot use the statistical tool because we do not have enough data, enough quantifiable data. So in that case, we will have to rely on the survey methods, and sometimes survey method could be more tedious, and it is not possible to go out and ask each and everyone whether the population is too large. So in survey method also we have sample survey. Then where survey is not possible, we can also go for expert opinion. So all of these methods have its own advantages as well as disadvantages. It depends upon the suitability that a firm decides which technique has to be utilized. So these are the various techniques of demand forecasting, and with the help of that, one can forecast the demand for their product and services. So I hope this is clear. Thank you.